Last year, Philippa Boyens and Kenji Kamiyama presented some artworks of Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. And we were so impatient to see more. Moments ago, a filmmaker conversation happened in Annecy with the best host we can imagine. Welcome, Andy Serkis.
Thank you.
It's amazing to have you here, and especially when we think that this is your first time in Annecy.
I literally can't believe it's the first time. I mean, I feel like this place should be my home, and I should have been here 15 times before now. But I've waited till these latter years of my life to come and enjoy it, and it's an amazing environment, a wonderful place.
We feel that you are, in a new way, embracing animation, and that you will be here many times more.
I hope so. I really do hope so.
We know so. Let's go back to what happened today. And my first question is simple. How does it feel to be Middle-earth ambassador in the real world?
That's very interesting. I think because Tolkien has never left me ever since I got involved with... I mean, I first read The Hobbit when I was 13, so it had grown in me, and then I started to read Lord of the Rings later. But obviously, when we've made the films in 1999 and 2000... It has literally not left my blood since then, because then we went back to shoot the Hobbit after the trilogy, and then I got involved in reading the audio book. So Tolkien's world has just been flowing through my system for the last 2-3 decades.
What would say the 13-year-old boy to you right now? He would be proud, but what he would say?
He was, well, at that time I had no intentions of joining the film industry or becoming... I wanted to be an artist. In fact, I was a painter before I became an actor. So I think I've always been... the 13-year-old would say, you know what, you're not very good at painting. You can probably convey what you want meaning-wise through what you do as an actor better.
In this screening event that just happened in Annecy Theatre, Peter Jackson was not expected, nor Gollum. Tell Annecy's audience what happened today.
Well, it was very, very bad form of Gollum. I mean, I like the guy, and he's very mixed up, and he's hard to gauge, because he goes between two parts of his personality, and one of them's nicer than the other. But he interrupted Peter's. He interrupted his introduction of a great movie by trying to take the camera off him. It was incredibly rude, and I felt very embarrassed on his behalf.
So you encounter for the first time Annecy's audience. How was it to present the most precious animation project of the year in front of the most reactive audience in the world?
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, the response has just been phenomenal, and it really is extraordinary to watch two fandoms kind of come together in this way. I mean, the world of Middle-earth and the anime world, and they sort of seem to blend so well together in terms of the archetypal storytelling, but the real emotion that's carried there, and the simplicity of the line, of the design of the characters in anime. It seems, I don't know, it's a wonderful blend of storytelling and emotion and epic, and literally epic animation. It's just extraordinary.
This is Kenji's work, but you must know some things. How will this screening event, this conversation also with the audience, will influence the work for the last months till December?
I mean, I just hope that people start, when people start to really hear about what's going on and what has been going on. I mean, there's a lot of excitement already about it, but when they start to see trailers, when they start to see moments of this, I think the fans are going to go crazy. I think the fact that, as I say, two fandoms coming together are going to be, it's going to breed I think it will bring a new audience of people who love both anime and the ones who love anime already, who don't know Lord of the Rings, and the ones who are Lord of the Rings fans who don't know anime. And I think bringing those together is very, very exciting.
So there will be more an increase of population in Middle-earth.
Absolutely, of some very interesting characters. Yeah,
really interesting. We are so impatient to see that. Well, we'll wait. patiently till December. You have also other animated projects coming up with sacred animals, those of Orwell's farm.
Absolutely.
Can we talk about this project?
A little bit, yeah. With that, I mean, we're sort of in the closing stages of finishing the movie. We're about 6 weeks away from finishing, I think, in terms of. I mean, it's the animation is all finished. It's lit. The picture is locked. We're now working on the dub and the mix, and we record the orchestra in 4 weeks' time. It's a really. I mean, I've wanted to make this film for. Since we set the Imaginarium up, it was one of the first projects we wanted to make. And the Imaginarium is a performance capture studio, which also has a production entity for films and TV projects that we want to make, and they're sister companies now. But that was literally the first project I wanted to make, and it started around the time of Rise of the Planet of the Apes, the very first one. I suddenly thought, the world that we were creating for the Apes movies, I just thought, this is perfect now for Animal Farm. But throughout the years, it has changed, and it was originally going to be a performance captured movie, but we moved over to it being purely a keyframe animated, CG animated movie, because in a way it fits the allegory better for the moment. We wanted to create a fairy tale because George Orwell called it a fairy tale. So we decided it was going to be live action with animals, performance captured, like Mowgli, the film that I made before. But actually we wanted to make it for a broader audience, and animation does that. And so the tightrope that we've had to walk with it has been difficult because they're adult themes, but we want to bring a young audience into it. So it seemed the best route to go to make it animated, and I've loved the process and had a great time doing it.
So you will be back in Annecy with this?
I would hope so. Yeah.
Maybe. You talked about performance capture and animation. What excites you the most in the evolution of those technologies? What are you impatient to discover?
I mean, performance capture, it has evolved hugely in the last 2 decades since we worked on the Rings projects. And moving from physical capture to facial capture to then being able to be untethered, work outside of a volume and on location, which we did then with the Apes movies. That, and then obviously Jim Cameron and Avatar, and that it became a sort of a standard part of industry use. Of course, at the beginning, nobody really understood what it was about. But for me, just watching more actors come on board and wanting to take roles, because I've always said, performance capture, there's no special skill really about it. It's just acting. It is purely acting. In the same way that animators perform reference for the shots that they're working on, except that you have an actor who is authoring the role from beginning to end. So I've never drawn a distinction between acting for performance capture or live action. But the technology has got better in terms of how, literally the physicality of having a face-mounted camera, which really allows you to be very still for a close-up. And as I say, you can shoot out on location, and all of those things have been great. And then, of course, the advancement in CG technology in terms of and how skin and textures and fur and all of those things have become more realistic. The combination of those two things has been incredible.
This will be my last question, and I gotta tell you guys, it's quite stunning to look at Gollum in the eyes, because we can recognize him in you or you in him, I don't know, but it's really impressive. Do you sometimes dream as Gollum?
Dream as Gollum? I have dreamed of Gollum. You don't want to go there really. It's not particularly nice, It's sort of, but I have dreamt of Gollum because he is within me, I think, and will probably never leave me for the rest of my life. It's like my Dorian Gray,
Oh.
So I do. Yeah, I am actually thrilled to be going back into Middle Earth to try and exercise the character. Maybe it might help get him out.
Dorian Gray and Gollum for you as a painter child and now Gollum adult. Well, I think the loop is looped.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Andy.
Thank you, my friend.
Really, and thank you for everything you did for Middle Earth.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
And we'll see you in Annecy all the years to come.
I hope so.